My little brother, will you give us your name, please?
Name's Nathan Wisnett.
Nathan. Nathan, you live in Gaston County?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been in Gaston County?
Well, I was here till I was 13. My mother passed. I moved down south, South Carolina, Georgia area. And then when I'm about 20, I moved back. So yeah, pretty much my whole life, give or take.
How long have you been in the street?
On and on about 5 years.
Have you been in the street the whole 5 years here in Gaston County?
Yes.
How did you get into the street?
Well, originally I made some bad decisions, and God had provided different provisions for me, but I guess I wasn't listening to His will. And so I tried to rush things, and it ended up, falling through in the long run. So a lot of it's been my choice, like my bad decisions that made me end up being where I'm at today.
So did circumstances bring you to a place of homelessness, or?
Yeah, we were living in an apartment over off of Plymouth Street, right off Marietta, and the owner of those apartments sold the apartment. So me, my baby mother, and my daughter and her 2 kids were staying there. And when he sold the apartments, the property management group that took it over wanted all the old tenants out so they could do all remodeling, and so that we ended up having to leave. I fought it for a good 5-6 months, going to court, back and forth to court, and they kept continuing and finally the last time we went back, they finally ruled that we had to get out. So we had 14 days to get out of there, and so that made that kind of put a big thing on it, because I didn't want to bring my daughter out here, and her mother and her had somewhere to go, so they had somewhere, and I just chose to be out here so that they could have somewhere to go.
So you've got children?
I do.
How old are they?
One's 5, one's 10.
You ever get to see them?
I do. I'm hoping to see my daughter this Christmas, because her birthday is right after Christmas, the 26th.
That's good. What's living in the streets like?
It's not easy. It's it can have its ups and downs. You can meet some good people, but at the same time, when it's cold, it's rough. When it's raining, it's rough. When you have stuff that's of value, those things, they get gone. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to take your losses as they come, and you just have to say, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. That's all you can do.
Are you dealing with addiction?
I am not. I've currently beat the addiction that I used to have, and so I'm pretty much straight and sober. Yeah.
You were once dealing with addiction?
I was.
What were you dealing with?
Pills, pain prescriptions. I had 2 surgeries on my face to reconstruct my face, and that's when I had ended up becoming addicted to pain medication. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, the doctor prescribes it, you take it like the doctor says to take it, but sometimes your body doesn't necessarily know how to let it go, and it begins to feel like it needs it every day. Every day it needs it, even though you're not going through the pain anymore. You feel like you need it, and your body makes its own pain, so to speak. Like, it's really, a lot of times I don't know. Like, I don't judge people, because some people might be addicted to certain things not because they wanted to be, but because of circumstance.
Well, and that's the way hydrocodone is. I know that I've got back issues. I crushed my vertebrae when I was a young man. And so they put me on hydrocodone. They wanted me taking it like 2-3 times a day, and I wouldn't do it. I was taking it once at night before I go to bed. But of course, the way hydrocodone works is when you take it, your body starts pushing you to take more because you start going into withdrawals. Mm-hmm. If you stay with the steady, what you've been doing, it starts pushing you to take more to keep from having withdrawal. Well, how's your life different with how you had your married life? And I'm talking about your life in general, from being as a family man living in a home to now having to be in the streets for 5 years.
It's harder. I mean, a lot of times I deal with some depression, being away from my daughter, because her being there every day, going from her being there right beside me every day, and seeing her face and seeing her smile and listening to her laugh and play and have fun and sing with her daddy, because her daddy loves to sing. and then not having her, but every so often being able to see her, it's hard. And when she comes and she sees me, having to watch her leave, that can take a toll on me. As far as depression goes, like it's like watching your heart walk away, so to speak. And so it's like, I mean, God's blessed me though, you know, with meeting good people that stand behind me, that 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 coach me through the depression, that help me out with, you know, let me know that hey, it's not over, it's not done with. All you gotta do, keep trying. Eventually, you're gonna get there. As long as you put forth an effort, you'll have your daughter back in your life more frequently than you do now. And so I just keep leaning on faith and knowing that God's gonna do something for me. And so far, He hasn't let me down. He's actually throwing blessings my way that I didn't even ask for. Like it just came out of nowhere.
Have you tried to get out of the street?
Yes, I currently just found a roommate. Me and my fiance, we found a roommate, which was a blessing. Um, Actually, here at the church, guy came by and offered work, and I had to go do something. So another fella had rolled up on a bike asking about food. I told him they were done serving, but there's a guy coming through that's going to offer work, and if he wanted to make some money, you know, help him out. If he'd stand right there in front of the church, the guy would put him to work. And that blessing and me blessing him with the job that I was supposed to take, it kept him around here, which he offered us a place to stay for a night or two to get out of the cold. And then it turned into, hey, I need a roommate. And so now, you know, I can say that I'm not in the cold all the time anymore. Let my daughter know that I love her, and Daddy ain't forgot about you. Daddy thinks about you every day, and he can't wait to see your face. Every time he can see your face, it's like a ray of sunshine in his life. And as far as to my, you know, ex, you know, I don't hate you. I'm not mad at you. I don't have a reason to be. I did what was best, and you did what was best for y'all, and I can't fault you for that. I still love y'all both, and I love the other kids as well.
To anybody that's looking to maybe possibly come into the streets, what would your advice be to them?
Have a plan. Have something in order that's going to get you out of that predicament as fast as possible, because it's not it's not fun. It can be dangerous. It can be life threatening at times, and especially with the cold and things like that. It's not easy. So don't come out here thinking that everything's gonna be okay. Don't lean on anybody else. Lean on yourself. Lean on God. Know that you can do it. Like don't ever discourage. Don't get discouraged just because things fall through once or twice, because sometimes that's just a test, and sometimes that's just a lesson we need to learn, and that's what God's showing us. It's dead in the street if you don't have hope. Being out here in the streets is if you don't have something to look forward to. It's you're just set yourself up for failure. So always have something to look forward to. Always have hope for a future.
My little brother, thank you for this interview.